Hi, it's Cheryl this week joining. I'm happy that you're joining me. It's been a week since the last time I did a tour of my garden, and I really feel like things have almost like doubled in size. It's been really fun coming out here. Not as hot as it has been. We're only in the around 30-31 degrees Celsius. So we're just gonna take a look around and see what's been going on in the last week. So here we have the Black Beauty zucchini, and this I had 5 plants that had started, and I picked 2 of them out, so I just have 3 plants, which is probably even still more than what I need to have in there. And then we have the Gold Rush zucchini, the yellow zucchini. In behind are my pickling cucumbers. There's one there that has a little trundle starting to go. They only have about another 6 inches before they can reach up to that panel support. So that's exciting. My little zinnias. And in behind are my Tithonia, which is the Mexican sunflowers. Here is the Peter Pan squash. And in front of that is my sage. We have more sunflowers in the back. This is the Ring of Fire sunflowers. In front of that is my Dragon Tongue bush beans. Haven't noticed any flowers on the bush beans yet. And in front of that, there is my asparagus. It is poking up all over the place. So I'm glad to see that that is growing good. Like I say, I won't be picking anything off of my asparagus. I'm just going to let it fern, and then in the fall when it turns yellow, I will cut it back for the winter. Next year when the asparagus grows again, I will only be harvesting asparagus for 2 weeks, and then I will let the rest go to fern and cut it back the following fall. Okay, over here, the beans that I planted, they're a bush bean variety on this side, and those are the strike bush beans. And I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 plants, whereas the Dragon Tongue, I have quite a bit more. In behind, that's my music box sunflowers. And then I have my peppers. I noticed that my tomatoes over here are not getting as big as my other tomatoes. This area doesn't really get the full sun like the other ones do. Like that one's a pretty good size. That's my Amish paste. That's my Amish paste. Then this is the Oxheart tomato, and again the Oxheart. It seems like the 2 outside tomatoes, this one and this one, are bigger, and then the 2 on the inside aren't as big. And again, they still have about another 4 inches to touch the base of that support. And once they're up a little bit higher, then I can start staking them. So I've just put in, on this one, I just put in a little support in behind it until I can actually start staking them up. Got my little nasturtiums growing. Here's my Toy Choy. It's coming in good. So that's looking good. I pulled the straw out from around my onion sets because I learned that you need to pull the dirt away from around the bulb of your onion sets, and it'll help increase the size of your onions. So I've pulled all the straw away and pulled the dirt from around the base of my onion sets. In behind, I have my cucumber, and here, there's my cucumber growing in there. So exciting. My little bush cucumber has the flower, but not much is happening as far as cucumbers go. And then I have my fanfare cucumber here, and it's just coming along slowly but surely. I had probably 6 or 7 of the okra plants, and I thinned them down to just having 4. Because from what I've seen, okra gets quite big. So I thought, oh, I'll take out a few of them. Look at this Swiss chard. Compared to my last video, this Swiss chard has easily doubled in size. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be able to start harvesting some Swiss chard off of that. I can't wait to be having some of that. My lettuce, I have to pick some more lettuce. I thinned out some of my rutabagas so that they could make room for them to get larger. I was just thinning out the odd one here and there so that it wasn't so crowded in here. My white alyssum, and there's my dill. The carrots are looking lovely. These are the scarlet nantes in behind, and in the front are the solar yellow carrots. And my lettuce, it's that lettuce. It looks absolutely lovely. Here I have my leeks. The ones that I bought are definitely look really good, but the little ones right here and right there, those are coming along. So I'm happy about that. And then my onion sets I've put in here, and they're starting. Oh, look at this. On my calendula, I have a little bud and another little bud over here. So that's going to be flowering soon. These tomatoes are looking good. These are the Rainbow Blend tomatoes. Got some flowers coming in, just starting. And this one, that's a Rainbow Blend. And these Rainbow Blend, that's an heirloom variety from the Brandywine family. These are the Brandywine, so they're heirloom as well. And then I have my peppers. My hot peppers in the front. They're just coming along slow. Look at those marigolds. Got 2 different colors of flowers. And on there too, 2 different colors of flowers. Can't see that one, gotta move it. They're so cute. Okay, here we have the muslin mix. That again needs to be picked. In behind is my butternut squash, and it's starting to vine up onto the trellis. Broccoli in front. I've been picking off off my broccoli. I've noticed there's been some cutworms, and I have probably pulled off, like look at here, it has totally stripped the leaves off of my broccoli. And I've probably pulled off at least 4 or 5 cutworms, and I just fed them to my chickens. I'll put them in, collect them in a little dish, and then I throw them off into the chicken coop and let the chickens take care of them. The kale also needs to be picked, so I'll probably be doing that here again. See what the cutworms have done on my kale. This is my Toscano kale, otherwise known as the dinosaur kale. And over here are my radishes that I reseeded. I ended up pulling out what I thought might have been my holy basil, and it was just a weed. So that was disappointing. But here in the back, growing up this vine here, that's my spaghetti squash. And I'm just going to pull it through so it can keep going up this support. Another calendula. And over here is my eggplant. And right here, looks, there's some buds on my eggplant. Future little eggplant babies. Yay! And my Brussels sprouts, I like to take a look underneath. Make sure there's no cutworms on it, because if there is, get rid of them. They will eat holes in your leaves. Okay. Over here we have the beets. These are the golden Detroit beets, and those I have kind of thinned out a little bit, but I think I need to get in here and thin them out some more, because I see there's a beet forming. I'll thin out some of these. In behind is my red ace beets, and they're getting quite big. And over on this side in the front is my cylinder beets, and there's some beets growing in there. I can right there. It's getting big. On this side, look at this. Look at that hyacinth bean. This is the one that I am growing just for the flowers. And it's going to vine up the support and have those beautiful purple flowers and little beans. But like I say, they are not edible. They're just for show. But these bush beans, I'm getting those so they'll go up the supports. I have this one going all the way up. And then eventually we're going to be having lots of beans. I have celery in the front. I haven't quite had to water every day. I'm watering every second day now. See the cutworms, what they're doing to my cabbage plants. Look. Actually, this is cauliflower, not cabbage. And another cauliflower. These are the cabbage. And they're starting to poke over top. And that's the reason why I have those toilet paper roll collars on them, is to keep the cutworms from cutting them right off at the base, and then the plant would be dead. And then I have my poblano pepper in the back. This tomato here is my natural black cherry, and it's an indeterminate. Again, another natural black cherry. This one actually has some flowers setting on it. This is my new girl, and it has flowers setting on it. I've got some bamboo stakes, and I've just kind of tied them up to the bamboo stakes just until they get tall enough to reach up to the cattle panel. And that's another new girl. And there's a little tiny tomato right here just starting to form. And then we have calendula and sunflowers as well. I came back over here because we didn't see. These are the early dew melons. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 early dew melons and my one little watermelon. Look at the leaves on that. That's so cute. And that's that cobaya flowering vine that'll climb up my support. Over here is my solar yellow carrots in the front, and in behind is the Avon spinach. And I'm getting ready to, I think, pick the last bit off of that. If you notice here, it's starting to go to seed. I've been just, anything I see that has that, like it's going to go and start to flower, I just pick that off. And I'll either feed it to the pigs or I'll feed it to the chickens. But I'm getting ready to pick all of this spinach off, and then I'm going to start some more spinach and have another crop of spinach. And in behind here, this is some more of the cauliflower. This is the early snowball cauliflower. This is the cheddar cauliflower. But look at these strawberries. I'm coming out here each morning and I am picking a couple of cups of strawberries. It just gets to be a little bit more and a little bit more. And another thing I've noticed on my strawberries is it's starting to set out runners, which we want. And I will just let them make new strawberry plants. Like here I probably have, I started out with, I bought these strawberry plants last year from Canadian Tire, and you paid $7 for 10 plants. So I planted those, and now after last year when I went and had them over the winter, and then this year when I was moving them, I started out with 20 plants and now I have well over 30 plants. And then these strawberries will set out runners, and I'm hoping to double my size as far as plants go. And once after this season is finished with the strawberries, then I want to dig them up and I am going to move them over with the raspberries that I planted over in my other side of the house, over in my fruit and berry section. And then I will have another raised bed open to be able to move my plants around next year. Because where my strawberries are, that's probably where I would plant tomatoes, and then where the peas are, that's where I'll probably plant tomatoes next year. I won't plant them over in this shaded area that I showed you. I just don't think they're getting enough sun, and I will try and put them in a different spot. You just kind of, this garden area is new to me. I've only started planting in it last year. But so far, all my plants seem to be doing okay. Like those little bush beans, the striped bush beans, they're not doing that great, but at least the dragon tongue bush beans are doing good, and I planted them in with the asparagus because I had read that you could plant bush beans in with your asparagus while you're waiting for those new asparagus plants to get established. So next year I probably won't be planting anything in the asparagus bed. It'll just be for asparagus because I'll be harvesting a little bit of that as well. That wall of snap peas just makes my heart sing. I love snap peas. I can't wait until they start getting flowers on them. Now that they've attached themselves to that support, they're just going to flourish and grow up that support and be next thing you know, there's going to be flowers and they will be producing snap peas before we know it. I actually just met with someone to help us look after the animals, to look after my garden. Anytime that we are going to be gone, we like to do a bit of camping, and we just find with the amount of animals that we have on here, on our property, it's just been, we can't even imagine going anywhere because, I mean, you're letting them out in the morning, feeding them all, you're feeding the pigs, you're watering the pigs, and right after you water the pigs, then they're rolling in the water and they dump it out, and so then they don't have water. So it's funny, but then you think it's not funny because you don't want them to not be having water. You want them to have access with water. And then we have all these new chicks. So we have to get a few things put into place as far as fencing, and Jamie wants to build a portable chicken coop for the meat bird chicks so that they can be out and about because they're getting pretty big as well. We'll go take a look at them. Look at these chicks. They are starting to get their wings on them. Look at that one up on the water. It's getting its wings in. That's one of the western rocks. And then we have the oh, what are they called? The Cornish cross. And they grow to be quite a big bird. But these are all meat birds here. And that's what they're bred for, is to put on a lot of meat fast. They struggle with carrying that weight around when they do get up to 2 months old. That's when you're definitely going to want to have them processed. You don't want them to get very big. And then we'll go and see my dual purpose chicks. Now these dual purpose chicks, that just means that some of them are going to be layers producing eggs, and some will be roosters, and those will be the ones that we will process as well. We have black Australorps and we have buff Orpingtons, and we got these breeds because they're a more gentle breed, very friendly, except for those roosters. I don't find those roosters very friendly. A few of them got loose, and I was trying to catch them and put them back into the fenced area that we had them, and I grabbed the one and it totally bit me and had its mouth like right on the skin of my hand. And I was, seriously, I am helping you. I am trying to protect you from being out in the elements like with my cats. And so anyways, I wasn't very happy about that. Might be the first to go. Oh, look at this. Oh, there's Hans. And there's Pygwat. That spotted one in the middle, that is Cow. And then in behind the spotted one, that is Piglet. And Piglet is the one that had the hole in her shoulder during the delivery. We figured that the mama pig had stepped on her and produced a hole in her shoulder that was showing in the flesh. So we were flushing it out with the medicated soap and water, and then we were giving her a dose of the penicillin. So we'd have to give her a dose of penicillin every day. It has healed amazing. And she is doing so good. All these little pigs, they come running up to us now and we are scratching them. Cow will scratch her and then she'll flop over on her side and want you to be scratching her belly. They're super cute, lots of fun. I find that they like to nibble on my toes while I'm trying to fill up their water buckets. There's my little dish of strawberries that I picked. I am just going to wash them, take the stems off of them and put them into a freezer bag, and I will put them in the freezer. I have already harvested my rhubarb and I cut that up and put that into freezer bags. And so when I have a kitchen back, since I don't really have a kitchen right now with our renovations, once I have the kitchen back, then I will be making some strawberry rhubarb jam and probably just strawberry jam as well. I have a collection of sour cherries as well. I make sour cherry jam and that's quite nice too. Okay, so on the deck, there is my lovely Meyer lemon plant. It's looking very nice. I ended up replanting. I replanted this yellow pear because it was not doing well. And I replanted this tumbler because it started dying off. So I planted a new tumbler. It's a yellow tumbler that's in there now. My chocolate sprinkles is doing really good. It's got a couple of little buds on there, some flowers. Same with this tumbler. The flowers on that one. I think that's the red tumbler. We'll find out soon enough when it starts putting the tomatoes on it. And that is my other chocolate sprinkles and my flowers. They seem to be doing all right. I've got my yellow pear and a tumbler. The yellow pear is off to the side because it wasn't meant to be in this planter, but it's in there and I'm just going to deal with it. And here I replanted another Viva Italia tomato, and that was my other Viva Italia tomato, and it's starting to set out some flowers on it. And here is my other tumbler tomato, and it has flowers on it as well. So I can't wait to see what those are going to look like. I was lucky that I had some extra tomato plants. I've been trying to get rid of them because after I had planted all of my garden, I realized that I had still at least 20 something tomato plants that I didn't have homes for. I gave quite a few to a couple of my friends, and I still have probably a dozen tomato plants underneath. I'm just glad that I did have some so I could replace some of the tomatoes that I've lost. So Those ones under the deck, I'm not sure. I think I'll just see if I can pawn them off onto somebody. I have still some pepper plants down below as well, and or I might just plunk them into some planters and plant them around. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't want to have too many things on the go. I mean, I already have enough stuff on the go. We'll just have to wait and see how things go. So there's something else I wanted to show you, not so much in my garden. It has been quite hot and sunny here for the last probably 2 weeks. Like last week it was finally getting cooled off a bit, and but the week before that was super high, extreme 40 degrees out, and last night it got really super windy here, and it ended up, it was pretty clear, but after we had the wind and it tried to rain, it was very minimal raining, but after it was super windy here, it's really smoky around here. We are in the central interior of British Columbia, and there are a lot of fires going on right now. We have had one town, Lytton, BC, 90% of Lytton was burnt down. Like, it's just so devastating. People not having any time to pack, to leave. They just, at a moment's notice, they've had to leave. 4 years ago, this time 4 years ago, we were evacuated from our home, and we packed up our 25-foot trailer, and we were staying 3 hours from here in the Thompson Okanagan area of BC. And even there, it was pretty smoky there, but we basically, all around us, there were fires everywhere, so we had to leave, and we were evacuated for 2 weeks. And we're really hoping, like, we haven't had any rain in probably 3 weeks now. We're really hoping for some rain, but I just wanted to show you, like, normally from my garden, I can see, so usually through these trees, I can see the lake from here, but it is so smoky that I can't see any part of the lake. Like, I would usually have a pretty good view through these trees of the lake, and I can't. And it is so smoky, you can smell it. So last Wednesday, on June the 30th, there was so many fires around that it was basically, ash was just falling all around us. We were sitting on the deck and we had ash falling all around us. It was falling on me, it was falling on the table, it was everywhere. So we're a little concerned about that because, well, now we have all these animals. We have almost 60 chickens. We have the 2 mature sisters. One of them is being butchered fairly soon, but the other one had babies, and so she's raising her 4 babies that she has, and then we'll decide what we're going to be doing after that. And we also have 2 cats. 4 years ago, when we had to evacuate, we had a dog, and we had my son's guinea pig, and we evacuated with the dog, the guinea pig, and all of our immediate personal belongings. So we're really hoping that that doesn't happen again. So far, so good. And so I hear these little pigs. are squealing because they want mama to feed them, and they just like squeal, squeal, squeal. I don't know what's going on, but one of them seems to be having an issue. Super hungry. Oh, and now Dumpling's in here too to maybe lend a helping hand. I'm not sure. She's concerned. She's such a doting auntie. She's very concerned about these little babies, but they are doing super good. They are almost a month old. They were born June the 13th, and they're getting quite big. They're so darn cute. It's been a little cooler now, so that's been nice. And I have a lot of, seem to be picking a lot more. I did pick all of my greens and my lettuce, and I did pull out my spinach. There I have all of my spinach is pulled out, and I'm going to replant that again. I'm getting, look at that, I got there's a flower on my snap peas. I'm so excited about that. I can't wait. Oh, here's another one. So it's, the snap peas are starting. I'm really happy with the vertical gardening. It's really been kind of a game changer for me, just being able to fit so much in one of these 4x8 beds. You know, it's just amazing how much you can fit in these. When I look at this bed here, and I have Chinese Toy Choy in the back of, across the back of it. Then I have onion sets coming up the left hand side. I have okra in the front. I have Swiss chard growing underneath the arbor, and then I have cucumbers that are going to be growing up it. Like, how do you grow so much vegetables in one bed and everything seems to be thriving? It's doing really well. That is it. I am done showing you what I needed to show you today. I'm really happy that you were able to join me today in this little garden tour. I have a lot of stuff that's really grown quite a bit in the last week, and I can't wait to show you what happens next week. So join me then. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you again the next time. Bye for now.